MegaETH, Solana, Base, Hyper EVM, so many updates. Let's jump straight in. So let's start with the most time sensitive one in MegaETH. They have an ongoing sale currently from October 27th till October 30th, and a lot of people seem to be very, very bullish about the project, considering that their current valuation is about 4 to 5 times bigger than what they're currently offering the token for. So let's just see really quickly the timeline once again to see exactly when we would be potentially getting our tokens. So registration is open until October 27th, hopefully registered, and the allocation is going between 30th to November 5th. You can have a refund if you want to withdraw from the sale for whatever reason, or very likely we're all going to get refunds because it is very oversubscribed. However, the mainnet is coming in December, and you will have a bonus claim that is going to be designated for certain tasks between December and January. Most importantly, the token distribution will be around January 2026. So let's just keep in mind that even though the ICOs are pretty hot right now and a lot of airdrops were given for speculative reasons, example from Plasma, this is not a guarantee that the same is going to happen again. However, what makes MegaETH a little bit different from others is that they have a very, very unique distribution schedule. So usually projects release tokens on a fixed timeline. However, MegaETH is using certain KPIs, so key performance indicators, to decide how they're going to release their tokens. So in theory, this should make the unlocks more sustainable, as supply is only going to be increased as the ecosystem hits certain milestones. And the conditions for these milestones being hit would be that the stakers of Mega tokens are actually going to be benefiting the most. You will also need a certain period of staking. For example, minimum period would be 10 days and 30 days maximum. And you will also be able to stake your unvested tokens, but the rewards will share locked terms. Finally, the KPIs that they're actually using is ecosystem growth, technical performance, MegaETH, and Ethereum decentralization numbers. If it is true that a lot of the tokens went to these Sybil clusters, at least one positive out of all of this is that all of them actually sold their tokens, which should mean that after the price dropped by 40 to 70%, considering that MET launched around $1 and collapsed to about 50 cents and has not recovered too much since, at least all these wallets exiting should be bullish for Meteora short term. Additionally, there is also something to consider that their original DAMM launched with a price of 50 cents to $7.5, meaning that hopefully Meteora team would not allow the token price to drop too much under 50 cents. So perhaps 50 cents should actually be the floor. Super bullish update is that the fees generated from the first day of MET trading, they were huge, and team has actually bought more than 2.26 million MET tokens and burned them, removing them from circulation and stabilizing the price. Also, now, the most important question we should be asking ourselves: should we get some exposure to the MET token? Should we keep our airdrop? Should we sell it? Etc. Now, we all know that airdrops usually lose value over time. 85 to 95% of them were just valued lower now than when they were at launch. However, there might be an argument that Meteora might pull off a hyperliquid because there's so much statistics that just doesn't make sense. So Meteora has 4 times annualized revenue than Radium and is still trading at 50% of Radium's FDV. They're the main revenue generator on Solana, and they generate 5 times less revenue than Pump, but it's trading at 8 times lower valuation. And of course, there's projects like Monad and MegaETH who are trading over 5 billion without any real proven track record on the mainnet. So all of these reasons could potentially mean that Meteora is currently undervalued, but again, we will see exactly what time shows us, and nothing of this is financial advice. It's just metrics that doesn't make too much sense right now. And let's not forget that currently Meteora token doesn't really have any utility. So as soon as Steam implements some utility, maybe just like what Zora did, Zora was up more than 50% over the last 2 weeks even. So there are many bullish catalysts, but again, there's no guarantees in crypto, and we all just have to make the best informed decision with information given at any single moment. And if you want to make sure to make the most informed decisions and calculate your opportunity costs properly, then information is your best friend. And the best source of information are always private communities. That's something you just cannot ignore if you're in crypto seriously. One of the oldest communities out there, going strong for almost 3 years, is in our cryptocurrency state Discord, where we constantly discuss new strategies, new best ways to position in the market, alongside most time-sensitive updates, alongside many different ecosystems and projects. If this is something that interests you, make sure to join on the subscriptions page of our official website. Here you will find everything from monthly and yearly plans to help keep you in the loop and keep you organized alongside a cryptocurrency tracking application for airdrops. Santiago develops it and updates it regularly, and it has been a lifesaver for saving so much time. Also, the NFT collection is finally migrating. We have great news for this coming very, very shortly. All right, let's take a quick break from Solana to take a look what's happening with Infinex. They are having their TG death march, as they call it, and it is essentially an extended period of time for a token generation event to ensure that the platform is ready for a massive launch and absolutely delivering on the best on-chain experience possible. They're going to be rolling out several very useful features such as Infinex extension and wallet imports so that you can have all your history in one place. For example, if you're trading on Hyperliquid, they're also planning to support over 20 chains, as well as, of course, we've been using Switch as a swap, cross-chain swap functionality, and Earn, which is going to be a yield aggregator, making sure to generate the most amount of yield on a single platform. But perhaps the most important part of everything, smoother user experience with less seed phrase shenanigans and gas abstraction as well to make sure a truly seamless experience. They are also planning to reintroduce Crate Run, and perhaps the most important final phase before TG is about patron NFTs. They're trying to replicate Pengu's success, considering that most of the Pengu token supply was airdropped to NFT holders. However, Pengu did also drop a little bit of tokens to Solana users, so there is still hope. Their plan is straightforward. 100% of the total supply of the new token for the Infinex platform is going to be airdropped to patron holders. There's about 100,000 of these tokens currently, so their plan is to reduce this amount significantly. However, it is quite disheartening to see that only NFT holders will actually receive the airdrop, so hopefully there's going to be similar allocation for bullrun participants or maybe long-term users and believers of the platform. Understanding this, it would be logical that there's going to be at least 2 tokens in the Infinex ecosystem, one for bullrun and one for Infinex patrons. But we will see exactly how they plan to roll these things out. One thing is for certain, Infinex patrons, their NFT has been up only for the last month, up 2x since early and mid-October. Let's jump back into Solana, which is hovering just around $200 right now. If you believe that the Solana token is going to reach at least 300 plus this current bull market, you might want to have leveraged exposure to it. However, maybe you don't want to risk liquidations. And if we've seen something happen on October 10th that was beyond remarkable, it is that XSOL, so Hylo's platform, leveraged exposure to Solana, doing a 2x with zero liquidation risk. They have really stood the test of time, and all the positions on Hylo were properly leveraged and deleveraged, so to follow Solana's price. And of course, just because they worked amazing in the past doesn't mean they might do the same in the future. But at the moment, you can secure 2-in-1 airdrop with XSOL and Hylo USD in the Loopscale wallet. First strategy was to have XSOL in Ratex, but if you want to diversify your smart contract exposure, then Loopscale is a very, very good alternative.
Hey guys, we partner with What Exchange, one of the greatest decentralized exchange right now in the market. I love that you can see everything on your screen at once. You can connect to What Exchange from different mainnets, and you can see here the list of hundreds of tokens. They are continuously adding more tokens each week. And What Exchange has an active airdrop. They are going to distribute 30% of the total supply, guys, into this airdrop. So that is why I am super bullish trading here too. You can see here the point section that they added recently, so you can check everything about your progress on this airdrop. And in trading, you can see how many order tokens you earn because they have this payback system from the fees that you pay. Part of that goes back to you on order tokens. So check the link on the description to join to What Exchange, trade on the platform, participate on the airdrop of the 30% of the supply, and also get some order tokens back. All the links are in the description.
And another super bullish update in Solana is coming from Jupiter, which are planning to launch an ICO platform as early as November. ICO craze might really be back, considering that bull market is heating up and people just want to have exposure to tokens that are ideally going to be up only during the bull market euphoria. But keep in mind that there's also an airdrop perspective. For example, Plasma has given over $10,000 worth of their tokens just for people who participated in their ICO. Another super bullish update coming from Solana is that Moonbirds are deploying their collection on Solana, and they're actually allowing people who hold Moonbirds, mythics or oddities, but most importantly, Solana Seeker Soulbound NFT, you'll be able to mint one Soulbound token per NFT held. Of course, we don't expect the same price action like Ethereum, because Moonbirds on Ethereum are worth couple $1,000, but it is a free mint and you should definitely get yours, and you have to actually mint it manually because it is not going to be dropped in your wallet like all other airdrops from Solana Seeker in the past. And the last Solana update is coming from Wormhole. Their Earn portal bridge is live, and you can basically earn free experience from just simple on-chain activities, as well as subscribing to Wormhole newsletter. You do have to pay attention to which exact route is giving which kind of experience. For example, transferring Solana to Unichain is giving you a disproportionate amount of experience compared to some other routes. This is a wrap for all the updates for today. If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe with bell notifications on. If you have any questions or comments, I'm waiting for you in the comment section below and in our Discord. Thanks for watching. Till next time, have an amazing day.